Okay, so as I said, like AWBeat, the front end for the autonomous universe. So first of all, as I said, like we got super excited, and also we realized that this will be like a really complex product that we'll try to build in 48 hours. So we kind of like needed to build a big team. Adrian was doing the coding. Proof of Jake was chief pie chart officer. Nick was in charge of JSON files. Um, I was chief hydration officer, so I was bringing water a lot for the team to be hydrated. Algorithms was helping out with the screenshots of the games, and Shiny was like collecting the data and all of the useful information that we needed. So TLDR, the problem is that there is no single source of truth for people to understand how these decentralized autonomous worlds are building up. As you guys know, when we talked in the previous 2 days, this is just starting out. Last year, it was more gathering of people sharing the knowledge and discussing about these things. This time, it's more like hackathons, so just like kind of like kickstarting the whole thing. And we got inspired by the L2Beats, for people that don't know. It's basically a community-driven public good type of platform, where the idea is like to help people understand when it comes to the layer twos and different consensus algorithms and how things are operating, to try to understand how decentralized different L2s are. So that got us thinking, like, what happens if we try to build something similar but for the autonomous worlds? And we kind of like started with your games here, or the games that were presented here that we should mod with. We tried to kind of like aggregate some data, but also we wanted to kind of like figure out the way how we can present in the best possible way how like not just how decentralized ours, but what are the components, right? Because for the L2 things, L2Beat, it's about the decentralization a lot. Where here, Jake will explain much more because, as I said, he's a chief pie chart officer, so he was in charge of the pie chart. And yeah, we tried to build like a really simple website. It's already live on AWBeat. Just trying to collect the data. Obviously, it's not the most pretty right now, but like that's what we could do in the 48 hours. And yeah, I'll let Jake explain a bit about the...
Yeah, I attempted to try and make a pie chart similar to the kind of L2Beat. So it's based on these kind of 6 scores. Ruggability, so if the first-party developers can kind of change the base set of rules, rug the game in some ways. Logic, luckily for everyone in this room, this is an easy green pie, but you can imagine other games where they have like kind of assets or just tokens on-chain, but the rest is off-chain. They would have a darker pie. Extendability, so if they're using like Mod or Dojo, it can be quite easy to extend them because there's kind of more documentation. Also, if they have their own documentation, that kind of increases the score there. Client, if the game client is like open source, if multiple clients exist, if documentation around clients exist. Playability, is it like able to be played right now? Is it public? Is it private? And also like kind of how expensive it's to get started. Like, is it accessible? We set like $10 as like the kind of expensive test, but in the future you can imagine like, I don't know, you're not gonna spend $100 to start a game. And also deployment, is it like live on a mainnet, testnet, and kind of how that looks. And yeah, this is kind of some future ideas. I spoke to Ludens quite a bit about like kind of some stats. We were thinking like a big part of L2Beat is the TVL. And so we were thinking maybe like daily active users or like the GDP of the world's economy even. And then there's also this idea of like gas metrics. So like if most people are using the first party client or even like kind of the first party like kind of base world, or if they're playing like experiences that have been built on like smart contracts on top of that, and kind of looking at the ratio between first-party gas use and third-party gas use could be interesting because there's going to be like kind of this inflection point where people are playing more games on top of the world. Also like developer activity, milestone achievements, if people are like moving chains or like launching NFT projects. We also kind of want to go on-chain ourselves for the lols, but it also enables like autonomous worlds creators just to deploy a contract themselves. So if they wanted to add to their game, they deploy a single contract and kind of follow our formatting, and they literally just in our GitHub repo update like a name with the address of the contract, and it reads from it. And yeah, we want to become the hub for onboarding like new people into the on-chain game kind of experience. And also, if you have any feedback about this or these stats, please speak to me because I really want to do this and make this a real thing. Yeah.
I think that's it, yeah. So that's it. Thank you guys very much. I hope you like it.